Try spending half your life in a cell, watching somebody else live your life.
I had to draw the line.
I'm just getting started, little brother.
I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies.
I'm coming for it all.
He's not gonna stop.
Then you make him.
Creed 3, the third film in the Creed franchise and the 9th film in the Rocky franchise. Oh my god, so many movies. Full disclosure, this is not usually the kind of movie that I watch. I'm not an athlete, I don't really care for sport films all that much, and this is admittedly the very first Rocky and/or Creed film that I've ever seen. So I might have missed some important details from the other movies, and I definitely missed all of the big boxing world cameos. Thankfully, I did see it with a fan of the franchise, Fudge the Boss Hog, who was able to detail the details and the story beats I may have been missing, like the events of Creed 2 with his deaf daughter and the wife who was losing her hearing. So, disclosure, I'm not a fan, I am a complete outsider, and that may affect my overall scoring. That being said, this was actually really damn good. What interested me most was that this was Michael B. Jordan's first time directing, which honestly, a bit of a huge thing to do for this film in particular. It's his first time directing while starring and also jumping into a 9th film in a franchise. That's ridiculous. Luckily, he had the help of previous director Ryan Coogler with the writing, and probably a bit more, but still. Ultimately, I think it worked out really, really damn well. Michael B. Jordan clearly has a unique shooting style, and the fight scenes are spectacular, especially the final fight. Creed 3 follows boxer Adonis Creed about 6 or 7 years after Creed 2, I'm not entirely sure. His daughter is just growing up, he knows sign language, his wife still produces music, and he decides to retire from boxing to focus on coaching and family. That all changes when an old friend from his past named Damian shows up after being released from jail, intent on becoming a world champion. Things get personal and the two frenemies have to fight. I don't want to say that the story is predictable because, yeah, it kinda is, but I don't think that's an issue. There are very, very strong acting from the three main leads. Michael B. Jordan brings a tired and frustrated air to Adonis Creed that shows how he wants to help Damian, but is still reluctant. There's some conversations surrounding past trauma that's reflected in another plot point where Creed has to learn to communicate about his issues. I was told that this was an expansion of a theme in Creed 2, where the plot was he had to learn to communicate with his daughter who couldn't hear. Well, now he's fluent in sign language, but still has to learn to communicate in a new way. I don't know if that's a theme from the first Creed either, but it was really cool to see that taken in a more personal way and expanded upon. Tessa Thompson is fantastic as Creed's wife Bianca, but she doesn't get as much screen time as she could have, which, I feel she might have been a tad too supportive here or there too, but still fantastic acting by Tessa. I'd love to see her in more projects. I hope she gets so much more work. She's great. The true star, though, is Jonathan Majors as Damian Anderson. Jeez, does this guy get more and more interesting the more I see him acting. He's so interesting and is a wonderful foil to Jordan's Creed. And goddamn, does he look jacked. He looked big as Kang in Marvel, but fuck man is he ripped in these scenes. His backstory works really, really well, and it's believable to see the chip on his shoulder in regards to his friend and all the little things he does. There's this really cool dichotomy between the two where you see Creed fight and see a weak spot in his opponent before targeting it, and then it's reflected later when Damian fights, but it's darker, shown to be more aggressive and dirty. He isn't seeing an opening like Creed is, he's seeing a weakness to exploit and hurt, and I love that detail. There's a lot of little details that are strewn throughout the film, and it all fits really, really well. I don't think it's a perfect film though, for my perspective anyway. Like I said, it is a bit predictable, some line deliveries feel awkward, one plot beat feels rather unneeded, and the tropes do get a bit tiring, at least for me. Yeah, it's a Rocky film. I expect a training montage, and maybe I just missed some callbacks to other films that kept me from fully enjoying it, but it was at least a short sequence. The one issue I kept having while watching though was just a lack of investment, and I don't really understand why. I think maybe it might have been because Creed was just too rich. It kept cutting back to his gigantic, glamorous house, and even Damian at one point goes, "Oh, you got the see-through floors too, huh? And I don't know. I find it kind of hard to root for someone that is ridiculously wealthy. In the end, I was, but I think it was a bit off-putting to me at first, especially since Rocky has always been underdog stories, which are referenced, but still. All those preconceptions melted away, however, during the final fight. No spoilers, but the build-up was amazing. The shots were fantastic. The creativity and the exploration of past and present in this tiny ring with these two beasts going at it. Oh, it's so fucking cool. It was really, really damn engaging. I loved it. Everything about that ending fight, so good. So good. People in my theater clapped. One cheered during it. It was electric. Seriously, I can't get over just how good it was. And then the film didn't waste any time closing it out either. It left on a very good note with a tease for a potential future installments, and yeah, overall, it's an extremely solid film with a fantastic directorial debut for Jordan. I'm definitely looking forward for more of his work, maybe not in the Creed or Rocky universe, just because I don't get it. I'm not a big fan of it. I've seen this one movie, that's it. But in more projects, maybe some more action movies. I definitely recommend this film. Maybe watch a summary or two of the previous two Creed films before though, just to be sure you fully understand everything. But otherwise, jump on in. It does a really good job of catching newcomers up to speed and detailing past exposition. Give it a watch. I think it's really, really good. Creed 3 gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. Oh my god, I kinda wish I enjoyed sports movies a bit more, but it's like, I don't care for racing, I don't care for football, I don't care for, baseball and things. They have all those classics, Rudy, Angels in the Outfield. No, they're not for me. And because of that, I never really got into the Rocky films either. Yeah, I get it. I understand the main story beats of like Rocky 1 and 2. I think I know other story beats. Like I think Creed's dad is like killed by Drago in like Rocky 4? I don't know. They're old movies. So old movies. Creed is a boxer, world champion, has a music producer wife who's losing her hearing and now has a deaf daughter. That's all I needed to know. And that is detailed really, really well. I also have to talk about why are there so many Marvel characters in this? Well, Marvel actors. I mean, you got Michael B. Jordan, who was in Black Panther, Tessa Thompson, who's Valkyrie. Now you have Jonathan Majors as Kang. Ryan Coogler did Black Panthers. So there's just a lot of Marvel callbacks. It was a little distracting because I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, hey, look, it's Killmonger. Killmonger versus Kang, who would win? I don't know. It's interesting. I do feel like there's more to do with this franchise, even though this ends in a pretty solid beat where you don't really need to see more. I like how it leaves it open for further exploration in the future. There are no after credit scenes. Thank God. I'm getting really tired of those. But honestly, it felt good. I think other fighting movies just didn't quite reach the mark. Like I saw Bruised with Halle Berry, which was MMA fighting and different, but it was still about fighting and getting training and getting better to beat an opponent that you had coming, even if like there's a lot of self-work too. I feel like Bruised was probably a bit more realistic than Creed is. Creed is very much highly stylized, not realistic at all, which helps in some aspects. Like I said, that final fight scene, I don't really want to go into spoilers, but it gets very stylistic, very, oh, we're doing this now, we're gonna throw in some really cool effects and stuff. It worked really, really well, but something like Bruised, which is going to be more grounded. I still think that Creed's better, just overall more engaging, better acting, things like that. I don't know. Do you think Creed 3 is the best film in the Rocky franchise? I haven't seen any other films. I've seen people saying that Rocky 1 and 2 are better, and then this is like the third best out of 9. I'm not watching the other 8 movies. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing that. But let me know if there are any that I should check out. Don't forget to comment that down below. Don't forget to like the video so I know what you guys think. And that's it. Subscribe, ring that bell, don't miss a video. And yeah, have a great day. And if you're not, have a better one. See ya.
I'm just a ghost in your stereo. The fading memory of a shipwreck in the undertow. You're just a lost summer.